With me today in the dialogue is Professor Vishwajit Kundu from School of Biological Sciences, IIT Delhi. His team has developed a detection test for COVID-19, which has recently got approval from Indian Council of Medical Research. Professor Kundu, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Kanchan. This is a team effort. So the entire team is not here because of the general norms of social distancing. So I am just sitting in on behalf of the entire team. So thank you very much for calling.
First of all, tell us about the test and how different it is from the currently available RT-PCR test.
Well, this is also an RT-PCR test only, based test, but the currently available tests actually depends upon a fluorescent probe for detection, which in most of the cases has to be purchased from abroad and becomes expensive. The entire test becomes expensive. Whereas in our case, this is a non-probe based, so probe-less detection assay, which depends upon CyberGreen, and that is why it can be much cheaper as compared to available tests.
So how does it work? Is it an RNA based, DNA based? How is it?
It is just like any other available kits in the market. So it is RNA based and then RT-PCR, real-time PCR based. But only difference is that it is very specific because our primers are so specific that it picks up only COVID-19 and no other coronavirus, if at all. So that is where the edge lies.
So doctors are telling us that RT-PCR test, which is currently available, it gives only 60 to 70% positive results. I mean, around 30% samples are not tested positive, even though the patients are positive. So how sensitive your test is?
Okay. So see, when it goes to the field, there may be certain differences. But ICMR definitely approves only those kits which are 100% test with 100% testing efficiency in their laboratories. In our laboratory here, when we tested before sending it to ICMR, we have 100% efficiency. And because our primers here are so specific to COVID-19, and then it also in ICMR worked with 100% efficiency as per their data. So we believe that it will be much more, I mean, I do not want to claim big, but I believe that, it will be much more efficient as compared to available ones.
How much time it would take to detect the sample through your test? And also how many samples can be tested together?
Well, it all depends on the RNA extraction step. So once the RNA is extracted, you can put as many RT-PCR samples in a machine. So it again depends upon what kind of machine and how many samples you can do in one run. Ideally, you can do 15 to 30 samples, no problem at all, in an RT-PCR machine. So so that's what I would say. If you have the RNA extracted, 30 samples can be done. And the entire process would take somewhere around 4 hours for the total thing.
It is the same as RT-PCR currently available.
As it is RT-PCR, but then what happens is most of the laboratories or the institutions which are doing these tests, they accumulate samples so that they have like 40, 50, 100 or maybe somewhere around that to run one PCR so that all the results comes out. So that accumulation time has to be counted, and that is why nowadays I believe it is 24 to 48 hours is the time they give to display the results. Our case is also the same. It's essentially RT-PCR based, but given that the number can be increased, so we are hoping that it can be faster.
Cost wise, if you can tell us more about your kit vis-a-vis currently available.
Yeah, as I said earlier, the other detection kits are dependent upon fluorescent based probe, and here it is not a fluorescent based probe, therefore the cost is going to be much lower. And a rough estimate, because you see we are not the producers, so we have not gone into the large scale production yet. A rough estimate says it will be somewhere around 300 to 400 rupees, and if you add on to the labor charges and all those, I don't think it can go for more than 750 to 800 rupees per test.
Large scale production is possible right now or not? You are still trying with the companies, you are still trying to collaborate with the companies, I know, but
Yeah. So, you know, the companies that have come forward, I do not want to name them because we haven't got into any kind of straight agreement with any one of them, because today is the date that we are planning to do so. So the companies, they have their own supply chain of the ingredients, so far whoever has approached us. So if they can maintain that supply chain of ingredients, for example the RNA extraction, then I don't think scaling up will be that much of a problem. They can do it within like 4-5 days. We can go to a production of somewhere around 5 to 10,000 tests immediately, and then it can be scaled up to 50,000 in no time, within a week, probably 50,000 tests.
Are you going to give them a deadline, because we have seen in the past, not specifically for IIT Delhi, but many institutions struggle with the deadline because they give a deadline to the companies and most of the times they skip the deadlines. Here we can't afford. Here we can't afford the delay.
I know what you mean, but since I have never done such a thing, what kind of deadline, because it is a matter that our FITT, Foundation for Innovation Technology Transfer, they take care of the licensing and the deadline. The agreements are actually done with them. Obviously, this is a good point that you just now mentioned. So we can put it up as a deadline, some deadline which should be very fast. I believe that 1 week is more than enough, because it's kind of ready kit with all approvals. It just has to be, the ingredients has to be put in, and that's it.
Professor Kundu, what else your team is working on at present? I mean, this is a very big project, I understand, but your team might be doing some other projects also which could be of help in COVID-19.
See, this kit, we are saying that this is sufficiently specific, and if you do this, then you need not have to go for any confirmatory tests. But for the sake of it, sometimes, as you said, in a real field situation, some of the tests do fail because of various other parameters, which may be, handling errors or whatever. So we are developing a parallel kit with another set of detection parameters, which I am sorry I cannot disclose right now, because the team is working behind and they are working really day and night, and they are just too tired to even come. Sorry for that. But so we are working on those lines.
So does that mean that one can take these two tests, and one which you have already developed and got approval from the ICMR, other on which you are still working? So that means a person, a suspected, who is a suspected COVID-19 patient, can undertake both the tests, which can tell us that he is a confirmed patient.
Yes.
Or not. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we believe that the first test itself is sufficiently confirmatory, but just for the sake, sometimes it misses, then another test can be taken.
So what aspect this test is dealing with, the other test?
If you can excuse me for that, I don't want to disclose it right now, because there are many competitors.
No problem.
The other thing that we are looking at on these lines is we are looking at the structural proteins of this virus, and then trying to fit in molecules which can actually possibly prevent, so it's kind of a possibility of finding some inhibitors to this COVID. So that is again a parallel work that is going on in another laboratory of the institute. Yeah.
So that means I'll have to take your interview very soon again.
I don't know. It takes time, and yeah.
Thank you so much, Professor Kundu, for talking with us.
Thank you very much, Kanchan. Thanks.